few times.
Well, big smiles, even though they are not more in this race. We have a look at the leaderboard right now. 10 teams were on the start yesterday morning. Right now, there's only 5 of them left in this race. Earlier, we also had Team 4 and Team 10 that did not finish. So altogether, 5 teams, and this is the standings right now. Still Team 6, Sweden, Australia, in a huge lead.
Yeah, as I predicted this morning, I guess.
Yeah, you did. And the fact that 5 teams now is out from the race. If I had asked you yesterday morning, would you say that it's too early for 5 teams being out, or are you surprised by this?
I thought it would be about this. One more or less, maybe.
But there's still a lot of racing left.
Yeah, and it's good teams out there, for sure.
Yeah. And an important thing for the teams, of course, if they're going to end up at the Lighthouse in Landsort, is that they have a good teamwork. I said that in the introduction a while ago, and I introduced you, Annika, also as an expert on teamwork. But if I let you introduce yourself even more, what's your interest in this race?
Well, I'm a team coach, and I'm also a speaker and an author, and I spent over 30 years just studying and coaching and working with different teams, all for, leadership team and global organizations and all kind of teams. And I also actually coached some teams in adventure racing, because me and my husband also take part in that sport, though at a completely different level. So we could never, ever coach these guys in the disciplines of the sports, like navigating and running and, run a bike or anything like that. But what we could help them with, and this is interesting, we could help them with, knitting the team closer together and making better use of one another's strengths. And also, the toughest thing, to help them to communicate and cooperate under pressure. Yeah. Because this is tough. And I mean, it's a real struggle out there, and it's not a question about if you're going to struggle, it's when. Yeah. And you're going deep down in this dark hole, and you know all about it. And,
all about it.
Yeah, and then it's the question, do you have the strategies? Yeah. Because this competition is not only about 200 Ks of running and 50 Ks of swimming in wild waters and rocky terrain. It's also about communication. And I would say trust, yeah, and the ability to help each other through this tough conditions.
Yeah, as you say, it's a special race, obviously. Yes. And if you're going to try to pinpoint, what is the key to be successful in the communication and the teamwork?
I would say that if you should be successful and go to the finish line in Landsort that everyone is dreaming of, the first thing, and this is also something you can apply to ordinary life, you must have the knowledge and you must be competent enough. And they are. I mean, they are extremely competent. You are the best athletes in the world. So, but this is very important, but it's not enough. And then you also need that you really want to work as a team. Yeah. And you are in it together. And Marcus, you can tell them about it because you are not really a team person, right?
Well, there was one thing when they asked me in the first season here, what's my biggest thing with the race, my biggest problem is going to be with the race, or the hardest thing. Yeah. And it was actually to be in a team. That was my response to that. So
you're a solo player?
Well, if there was one water solo,
you would join. Yeah.
And it's funny you mentioned it, because I know we have a clip on you from your first time here. That was in 2023.
Yes.
And you were quite upset. And we're going to have a look at that and talk about it later. Here it is.
What's happening?
Well, our boat is not here. That's the 4th time now. We didn't have one swim where the boat was before us.
You guys were waiting too long.
Alltså mycket hjälp nu. Vad är det som händer?
Jag trackar folklanten. Ni får mig.
Men ni måste ju veta vad det går. Alla andra båtar hinner dit.
Ja, men båten fick en ny tracker nu.
Well, I have 8 minutes standing now. Så det är 8 minuter. Kom igen.
They're frustrated. They're, I wouldn't say angry, but frustrated.
Quite a lot of running now. Short swim and a lot of running.
They have been waiting and they don't like it.
Jag måste ta vatten för det är jättelångt upp.
Ja, jag fixar på handen.
Nej, men jag måste ha nu. Fixar du där i så fall?
Ja, på den sidan. Ja.
Well, Marcus, what's your feeling about this now when you see it?
Well, now I can laugh at it. It was tough back then. It was pretty early in the race as well, and we couldn't get it to work. The boats weren't coming, and we didn't get the energy and stuff like that. And you start thinking about this gonna go bad. Well, actually, it did that year, but at that point I was just upset, as you can see.
And I want to add, because I remember this episode. When was it? 3 years ago?
2 years ago.
2
yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
And I sat at home and I saw this on television or on my computer, and I thought, oh gosh, this is exactly what teamwork is about. And I then realized that you can use the knowledge from this competition and learn more about team building and teamwork and the ability to cooperate.
Yeah.
But the thing was, you had to accept that I'm on a team, right? And so,
of course.
and so that's important, that if you go to a challenge like that, you must accept we are going to be a team, we must help each other. But the third thing is you have to learn from your failure and your experiences. And I would say these teams that you see on the starting line, and they are experts on this.
Yeah.
And you must tell them, because you did excellent work after this first competition, right?
Yeah, we did. The second year,
Yes.
we did finish and worked much more as a team. We did. But as I said, maybe we're not the same as many other teams that are really like a cheerful joining team. We are a kind of different team, but we are a team. And the second year, we were for sure a team.
Yeah.
We were a little bit more team after this section of the race as well. But overall, we were better the second year for sure.
But would you say that you had underestimated the importance of the teamwork beforehand?
Yeah, of course, because I still thought a little bit like I can do the thing, and we were a team, but I can just keep working by myself. So maybe I realized that no, I can't do that.
No.
You can't be prepared for all the situation that will occur. And there was a lot of situations where, people go down to that black hole, as we talked about before, and they can have sleep deprivation, they see sleep monsters, or they are just away. And you have in your team, one of your team members, he couldn't read the map anymore. The first time, and you couldn't do the navigator. You didn't take that role at that time, right?
No, exactly. I wasn't realizing that I might have to do that in the race.
He thought we have a navigator,
Yeah.
so he's the one who's responsible.
Yeah.
But the next year, then you have practiced a lot.
Yeah.
And also, they say, how can you train yourself or coach yourself to avoid going down to a black hole? You can't.
No.
But you can see the early signs.
Yeah.
And you did, actually, last
Exactly.
year.
Exactly.
You can tell them about that, because I think that's also interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the first year. I know in there's a lot of clips when I'm complaining, like, this is not my work. I have the map in my hand, and I'm walking with the map, and I'm like, Mitch is out. But the second year, I prepared a little bit more with the map. It wasn't that I helped Mitch navigate, because he's a super navigator. But just me being able to spot when he was a little bit lost too much, when he wasn't really there.
Lost it, yes.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't got lost, but like, as you said, he lost it a little bit. And I could tell Hillary, like, I think he doesn't know where we are a little bit. And then we together can just like approach him with that in a good way. And he was like, yeah, I don't know. And then we just found a way back, and we got up the Brock, and like we started out from there. So it was he just needed to get. That we told him,
Yes.
hey, are you lost? And then he could admit it. It was no problem. He found his way, and we could go on.
Yeah, and I think we have another example of another kind of communication also. It's actually from the year before. This is from 2022, and this is from the American team.
I don't know that I can swim that much anymore.
Oh, sorry. I'm okay.
My arm's really hurting.
Take some Advil. Makes mine go away. I mean, I'm on.
The only thing is, I don't want
take it.
to be honest, I don't want to race with the two of you anymore. If you're going to continue the way we've been racing the last segment, it's not fun. And I know this is miserable. It is absolutely 100% miserable of a race, but it's fucking why we do it. So I can't say I've not been just as miserable, but there's no point in adding to it. I know you guys like to get it off your chest and do what you can to continue. That's just the way you work, and I don't mind. But you both can admit we're not having fun. So,
But it's the negativity. I'm telling you, it's gotta fucking stop.
it doesn't. That's just her.
I understand
It's just
that.
the way it is.
I get
We
that.
know that.
And I do.
That's her way of getting it off her chest. She can only voice it. That's all she can do to get it off.
Jared, what do you want to do?
You guys can go and talk about it if you want to for a while. Whatever you decide is fine by me. I am not kidding.
I don't know what I want to
I
do.
know, because neither of you want to call it. It's hard. It's a hard decision. I get it.
What I would say is I think we should stop. Because I don't think it's gonna help the three of us to keep going.
In what way? Help us in what way?
I don't think we're gonna put each other into a good place. We're gonna get
Probably not.
frustrated with each
Yeah,
other.
I know. That's
Yeah.
the unfortunate thing.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen. We're gonna get frustrated
Well,
every
nobody's
so
enjoying themselves.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, nobody's enjoying themselves.
I know. I don't think anyone's enjoying it.
Correct.
Well, I mean,
Well, that's another example of communication, or I don't know, maybe miscommunication.
Yeah, what do you say about this?
Well, I mean, even if I love my team, I do, and I love that we raced the year after, but I have to admit that I was maybe thinking a little bit what she said a couple of times with my team the first year, but I didn't say it loud, but maybe I thought it a couple of times.
But this, I would say, this is something. This is a lesson learned that you can apply everywhere, to business life, to family life, to relationships. That sometimes you get grumpy, right? And they are really grumpy on this clip.
Yeah.
And you can't be grumpy in a team for a long time because that takes so much energy. And that's what she's saying. I don't want to compete with you anymore because you're so grumpy and you take all the energy and all the joy. And I would say this that you see on this clip, you saw on this clip, you will not see anymore. Because
But isn't it also that you need to communicate problems before they grow too big?
Yes, yes. And I have a good example of that because I heard a podcast from one of the athletes that have attended this competition. He said he was walking and he was really grumpy, but he thought that he was a good communicator. That's the self-image we have of ourselves. I'm good at this. And he thought he was. But he was walking there and he was grumpy and he didn't communicate. Most people don't when they are grumpy. They just want to be by themselves. And then one of his team members just, came in front of him and said, "So how are you?" And he just said, "I'm hungry." Of course. And then if I was her, I would say, "Yeah, what do you expect? Of course you're hungry or cold or, you're tired. Of course, this is this kind of competition."
Yeah.
But he was so cold then, most cold than hungry. And then she said, "Okay, but how are you going to solve this?"
Yeah.
And then when he heard that question, he realized, okay, this is also my responsibility. And they could solve the problem. He took some shorts on, neoprene shorts and a cap and everything, and had some food, and then he was okay.
Yeah.
So I think also we have to do a lot of check-ins with each other and ask, are you okay? Are you fine? And if you don't communicate by yourself, I have to invite you to this communication, and then you have to be open. And you have to drop the ego in this sport.
Yeah, but you can lead in many different ways. Is it good for a team to have different kind of leaders, do you think?
Yes, I would say. Yeah, and that depends on the team. What kind of teamwork or leadership you will have in the group, because we have teams competing. As we have a team here, Team 3. We are very excited to see if they will finish with, and they are very much into teamwork.
Yeah.
And they are the kind of personalities that really wants to hug, and there's lots of love, and they are cheering each other. And that works for them very well. They are extraordinary, I would say. They are experts in teamwork. But then you have another team, like the one who are in the team number 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they don't communicate that much.
No.
They have a silent communication. They know each other very well. And I don't think they need so much sharing.
Yeah.
And that's also something that happened in our business life and family life. You have to see who is in my team and what do you need and what do I need, and we have to help each other here.
Yeah. So when you evaluate afterwards to learn more about how you are in a team and about teamwork, that's one thing. But when you do a race like this, do you also learn about yourself a lot?
Well, I guess. I guess you should.
You haven't noticed?
At least I picked up some stuff for the next year. And you talked about that different team leadings, and we, as you said, is different. We were 100% different because Mitch and Hillary were like one unit, and there was me. So
and that was good for you.
Yeah, it was perfect for me because I worked together with that team, and they were, they know each other so well, so they could, give the support they needed to each other. And we got to know each other over the first year, so we matched up there together, and then we had a support that you could just see that. So it's like that's how we worked out. I love the energy of Marika and that team, Team 3, but that isn't really my way of racing.
No.
So it's just different, and whatever works, I guess.
Yes, yeah. And you can have different strategies. But what you said, this is important in all areas. To be successful, you need self-awareness. And and they get to know more about themselves after this competition, for sure.
Yeah. And this race, Annika, one water race, it's different, obviously, from company meeting or something like that. But when you look at the participants here and the whole race, what can you take from here and transform it somewhat to the corporate world or a boardroom or whatever?
That communication and cooperation, it means something, and it's important. So you must train it and coach yourself in it. And I would say you need competence. So this is important. So you have teams that have enough skills for doing the task. But then also that we talk about why are we a team? What is our goal? And the goal for these teams is very obvious. They have Landsort. They want to, go there. And we need to talk about why are we doing this? And are you really with me? Are we in this together? And can we shake hands on this? And then the third thing is that they use feedback. And I could say in our organizations, we should be much better in evaluation and ask ourselves how well are we doing, as we should do after this conversation. Did we do good? We're going to do it tonight. Could we improve something? I mean, always work with what it went well and where did we not perform as well as we should.
So if you come here next time, Marcus, maybe next year, I don't know, will you be a different team member, do you think? And how can you be that? I mean, it's also connected in a way to the personality, I guess. When you've done this, you've been racing for 30 hours, it's your personality that comes through.
Depends a little bit. For example, if I would race with Mitch and Hiller again, it would be easy just to go back to what worked.
Exactly.
But if I would work with a new team, I would for sure, try to maybe find some way that we should do it. Like instead of just, I'm going to try my way again and then fail. So maybe I would evaluate a little bit before doing more training with them.
If I could give you an advice there, do you want one?
Sure.
You have no option here. But the advice is that you should give them your user guide and ask them for theirs. So you have each other. How do you work? What do you like, don't like? What do you need? And so we can help each other better, because it's not so easy sometimes to know what do you need. I mean, how could I help you?
Interesting.
Yes, it is.
You will follow the race to the end?
Yeah, of course.
Of course, and you will, of course. And it's interesting and exciting to see how they manage to cooperate.
This is so exciting.
With one another, yes. Time to go back to the race now. We're going to follow Team 8.